guys, today we are going to make Swedish meatless balls. So we're going to make a plant-based meatless version of Swedish meatballs. Now, back when I was reading about the history of Swedish meatballs, I actually found out that Swedish meatballs actually have Turkish roots. So King Charles XII was seeking refuge in Turkey during the Northern War, trying to run away from the Russians who were pursuing him. And actually when he was there, he became a lover of Turkish cuisine. So he ended up, loving the meatballs that he had in Turkey, and he brought the recipe, like the concept, back to Sweden with him when he returned to Sweden. Thus, we have Swedish meatballs. So yeah, they actually have Turkish history. So we're gonna make those today. Now, this was my second time making them, so I made a few tweaks throughout, so make sure that you read the recipe down in the description box. I'm also gonna try to put some notes throughout the video on little changes I made, just as I kind of worked with the dough. I love to have these with gravy, or if I pan fry them, I will actually just eat them as is. So anyways, guys, let's jump into the video. I can't wait for you guys to taste and make these delicious Swedish meatballs. The first thing, I have 1 cup of brown lentils that have been cooked. Well, actually these are canned brown lentils, canned, so they've been cooked somewhat, so you do want your lentils cooked. So 1 cup of brown lentils. Just gonna kind of throw that. And then I have 2 cups of cooked mushrooms. I know it doesn't look like 2 cups, but this is actually 2 cups of whole mushrooms. I measured them whole, and then I kind of chopped them up roughly in the pan. So 2 cups of mushrooms. If you want to do more, you can do more. I know it doesn't seem like it, but that's 2 cups of mushrooms. So the more the merrier. So there we go. And then I have 1 small onion that I have sauteed. Oh, and I sauteed the mushrooms. And then I have 1 small onion that I sauteed. You can saute it in some oil, or you can saute it in some broth, depending on what your dietary preferences are. Of course, I feel like oil gives it more flavor, but if you use a really flavorful broth, then that works as well. So that's what we've got in our food processor so far. We're just going to kind of pulse it, and then we're going to actually put it into our clear bowl here, and we're going to mix that together with breadcrumbs and some spices and all that good stuff. So we just kind of want to give it a nice little pulse so that everything kind of blends together really well. All right, so I'm just going to turn this on low here, or you can pulse it, whichever. Not everything is in our bowl, and I like to salt and pepper everything, so make sure that you taste, and you can salt and pepper like the onions and the mushrooms when you actually saute them. You can do it then. I'm just going to do it now. Add some pepper. I'm going to add some sea salt. Move this out of the way. All right, a little bit sea salt in there, and then we're going to also add some other spices. I've got you can use 1 to 2 tablespoons of garlic, granulated garlic or garlic powder. I've got 1 tablespoon here. I've got a teaspoon of dried parsley, a dash of allspice, a common ingredient that is used in Swedish meatballs. You can also do a dash of nutmeg as well. Go ahead and throw that into your bowl here. All right, and then we're going to mix that together, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of liquid amino, and this is really salty too. Excuse me. So if you're trying to make this SOS, then you could actually, without salt, you could actually use this as the salt and just add more. So anyway, we're going to mix this together. All right. You want it to almost resemble, almost like a ground minced meat somewhat. It's going to be a little, bit wet, but that's where the breadcrumbs are going to come in. Let's do that, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the liquid aminos. Just going to measure it here. Trying to film and, I'm trying to do film and I'm trying to cook simultaneously. So there's 1, everything, there's 2, and then we're also going to need, you probably could use mustard powder as well in here. I'm going to give it that nice kind of tangy flavor. So it was about a tablespoon, a little less than that. If you want it more tangy, add a full tablespoon. Mine's like a scant tablespoon there. Mix that together. So far, that's the texture. And so I have some gluten-free breadcrumbs here that I'm going to use. And I'm just going to kind of measure it. I'm going to kind of go, I don't have an exact, I'm going to go anywhere between maybe 3/4. Then we need some more. We'll mix that together and see. You want your pan to be lined with parchment paper. If you have it, I'm out. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil to keep it from sticking. And we're going to bake these at 425, 20 to 25 minutes. Also, you can also sear these on the stovetop in a shallow fry them and kind of sear them and then finish them off in the oven cooking. But the last ingredient that we're actually gonna add, I'm gonna add in a bit of golden flaxseed. Just gonna help everything stay together. Big tablespoon of golden flaxseed in here. And like I said, fill the mixture. If it's too wet, add in more breadcrumbs. That's just going to go in the oven. We're going to flip them midway. So midway through cooking, you want to actually flip them over. And yeah, the result. So these are the ones that we didn't add any oil. I just put enough just so that they wouldn't stick to the pan. And once they cook, they stay together really well. Now, like I said, if the mixture is not coming together, I've added up to 2 flax eggs just to make the mixture come together. So yeah, I went ahead and added water to the mixture to actually make a flax egg. So I would definitely recommend adding 1 to 2 flax eggs, just depending on what type of breadcrumbs you used. I used gluten-free breadcrumbs this time, and they, I don't know, the binding, they kind of made the mixture sort of dry, super dry. So anyway, everything's gonna be down in the description box. These are the ones we actually cooked on the stovetop, and we finished them off in the oven. And honestly, these are kind of my favorite. I love the texture of them. I love that, when you bite into them, they're soft and they're kind of crispy on the outside. But again, you can make these either way, oil-free, or you can make them with oil. Either way, but these are our Swedish meatballs, guys. And I would recommend serving these with gravy. Swedish meatballs, super delicious. You know what? I'm gonna get my fork and we're gonna dig in. Look at that. Look at that. Let's just dig into one of these. Get some of that mashed potatoes. Some of that gravy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Mmm. Alright guys, there you go. Nice delicious meatballs. You can just break into them. Look at that. Look at that. Got a little bit of kale on the side. Let's just kind of dig into this. Show you the texture there. Look at that texture. Alright guys, so that's it. We added. So turned out really good. I love to serve this on a bed of mashed potatoes or pasta with some gravy. And then the ones that I cooked with oil, I actually just seared them on the stove top, cooked them a little bit, put a top on it, and then I finished them off in the oven at about 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. And then if I like them crispier on the outside, I will turn the oven up to 400 and cook them for an additional 3 minutes. All of this will be down in the description box, so Don't worry about it. I know it sounds like a lot of information. Also, if you want to bake these with a little bit of oil sprayed on them, you could do that too. This recipe is yours to do as you will, but I hope you guys will try this recipe. It's so delicious. Now, I filmed them yesterday, so I have a few left over, and I actually read that King Charles XII, he loved to enjoy his meatballs with a little bit of coffee. So I thought, I'm going to try that combo. I'm going to try the combo of, you know, because the ones I actually cooked on the stovetop, I just can eat them plain. But the ones I baked without any oil, I feel like those really need the gravy to soak it up and give it more moisture on the outside of the meatball in the end. So anyway, we're going to try that. So King Charles had his meatballs. With coffee. Let me drink my coffee. Actually, I like this combo. It's really, really good. His culinary senses were on point. Okay, guys. So anyways, that is all for this video. I will see you guys again very, very soon. Like I said, make this, you know, it's Christmas time, so you can make this for parties. I had a small shindig. I had a small Christmas gathering, you know, because it's COVID this year, and it was just so much fun. Baked a ton of cookies. So this would be great for like a party like that. This is decaf coffee, by the way. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking. I will see you guys again very, very soon. Try this recipe out. Read the description box below for tips and tricks to make these. And I will see you guys again